Hello everyone, this is the sixth lecture in this DC-DC converter. So this lecture actually I'll discuss some problem. So this is the tutorial lecture. You will see some solved examples in this particular lecture. So in first problem you can see we are having one MOSFET switch here, and we are having one this is the input side and this is the output side. So we are applying input voltage and we are getting some output voltage. Okay, so based on the duty cycle we can actually change the output voltage. Okay, so this MOSFET switch actually is having duty cycle of 0.4 and RDS on is given to be 0.1 ohm. Okay, so as you know that during conduction the MOSFET behaves like resistor. So for that actually we require for the losses in the MOSFET we have to calculate the RMS value of the current, and the square of that multiply by RDS on will give the power dissipated in the MOSFET switch. So in first part actually we have to calculate the conduction loss in this MOSFET. Okay, all other parameters are given to be ideal. Okay, so all components are ideal except the on state resistance of T. Okay, so you can see that once this is conducting, so in on we can find from the KVL in this loop. So V in minus VO divided by R will give the current in this loop. Okay, so in on will be equal to V in upon R plus RDS. So here we are having R, and during conduction we are having RDS on of this MOSFET. So these two are in series, so we have to add these two and we can find what will be the current that is flowing through this MOSFET. So the value of the current is 9.091 amps. When T is off, okay, the current is 0. So we can find what will be the RMS value of this input current in one switching period. So we can find root mean square value. So we are having root here. This is the mean value and we are squaring here. Okay, so this is actually the mean value 1 upon T 0 to T integration of the current. This is the square of the function, that is in. Now for 0 to dts, that is on time, we can break this integration into on time and off time. So 0 to dt is actually on time, then d2 to t is off time. Okay, so we know that this is 0. Okay, during off time the current is 0. So first part we have already calculated the current, that is 9.091 amps. So substitute here and solve this integration. So we are getting 9.091. So this will be nothing but dts upon t, ts. So ts get cancelled. So we are getting 9.091 square times t. Okay, so this is the RMS value of the input current, that is 5.75 amperes. Now conduction losses of the MOSFET will be given by IN RMS square times RDS on. So power dissipated in the MOSFET is 5.75 square times 0.1. So we are getting 3.306 watt power loss in one switching period. Okay. Similarly, if this switch T is replaced with an IGBT switch, then what will be the power loss? So it is given that the on state voltage drop in this switch will be 1 volt. Okay, so uh, now we can find what will be the current flowing in this circuit. So that will be V in minus VO divided by R. So 10 minus, okay, V on is, so you can see V on is 1. So divide by R, we are getting 9 amps current. Okay, so during off time, so you can see that the input uh, on current is now 9 ampere. Now average of that will be dts upon ts. So ts get cancelled. So in on I in on times D, we are getting 3.6 ampere. Okay, the conduction loss of the IGBT will be V on times I in average. So V on we are having 1 and I in average we are having 3.6. So if multiply these two, we are getting 3.6 watt. Now this is the second example. We are having one buck converter. Okay, the parameters are given as 30 volt input voltage and 10 kilohertz switching frequency. L and C values are given 1 millihenry and 10 microfarad respectively. Now we have to sketch the circuit diagram of the buck converter and waveform the current of C. This is straightforward, you can do. Now calculate the output ripple voltage when duty ratio of the gate signal of the transistor is 0.5. The converter is operating in continuous mode. Already it is given, so there is no need to calculate for boundary condition. Okay. Now we know that delta V naught is equal to 1 upon C, the area of that triangle, if you remember, for buck converter in continuous conduction mode. So this is nothing but delta Q divided by C will give delta V naught. Okay. So delta Q half base into height delta IL upon 2 times TS upon 2. Now all these parameters are given in this numerical. So delta IL actually you can write VO 1 minus DTS upon L. Okay. Now substitute duty cycle, output voltage, switching frequency, inductance, every values you can substitute here. So delta IL you are getting 0.75 amps. Okay. Now the output ripple voltage we can find from this. So substitute these values, delta V naught we will get 0.9375. Okay, in this value actually delta IL value is substitute here, switching frequency substitute here, and put the values of capacitor. Okay, so you will get the output voltage ripple to be 0.9375. Alternatively, you can also find from the this expression. Okay, now this is the third example. We are having one buck boost converter which is having these parameters. So we have to evaluate the duty ratio, L value, C value and R value. So duty ratio is straightforward. We know the output input relationship for this buck boost converter, which is given by D upon 1 minus D. Okay, that will be equal to VO upon V in. Here you can see that output voltage, that is 12 volt, input voltage is 5 volt, so it is working in boost mode. Okay, so whenever output voltage is more than input voltage, it is boost operation. That means the duty cycle will be definitely more than 0.5. So if we substitute here duty cycle, we are getting 0.7059. Okay, now delta IL is given by V in DTS upon L. So delta IL value already given in the problem. Substitute here, we can get the L value. So here you can see that all other parameters are known except L. So we can calculate L value. Okay, similarly the load resistance is given by V naught upon I naught. So V naught is given and that is 12. I naught also given, we can see here that it is 10 amps. Substitute these values, we are getting load value to be 1.2 ohm. Similarly we can find what will be the capacitance value. So I naught is given by C delta V naught upon DTS. Okay, substitute here, we will get the capacitance value. Now in example 4, actually it is a buck converter and the input voltage is given 50 volt, switching frequency is given, that is 20 kilohertz, inductance L and load resistance are given to be 2 millihenry and 200 ohm respectively. The diode and transistors are assumed to be ideal. Okay, and the output filtering capacitor is assumed to be large enough. We have to evaluate the duty ratio D when the buck converter operates at the boundary condition between continuous and discontinuous mode. So at boundary condition, we know in case of buck converter, K is given to be 1 minus D. Okay, so K value is given by 2L upon RTS. Substitute all these parameters here. We are getting K value to be 0.4. Okay. So substitute here 0.4 is equal to 1 minus D. We can find what will be the duty cycle. So D is equal to 0.6 will actually give the boundary condition between continuous conduction mode and discontinuous conduction mode. If we are operating for these values, if we are operating our converter below 0.6 duty cycle, so in that case the converter will operate in discontinuous mode of operation. Okay. So in second part, we have to calculate the average current of the load resistor I0 when the duty ratio is 0.4. Okay. So here you can see that the duty ratio is less than 0.6. So the converter is definitely operating in a discontinuous mode of operation. Okay. So in discontinuous mode of operation, we know the relationship between output and input voltages. It is given by 2 upon 1 plus square root 1 plus 4k upon d square. If we substitute all these values, we are getting VO upon V in to be 0.4633. Okay. So V naught we are getting 23.165 because V in value is given. So I naught will be nothing but V naught upon R. R value is given. If we divide this output voltage by R, we will get the output current. Now in third part, we have to draw the waveform for IL, VT and ID of the above condition with detailed parameter for the x-axis, that is with time. So timing actually we have to do these waveforms already you have seen in case of the converter. So during on state it is rising, during off state it is falling, then becomes 0, the next switching cycle starts. So we have to label these times. Okay. So you can see that first we have to calculate the delta value, which is given by V in minus VO upon VO, and we are getting that value to be 0.4634. Now on time we can calculate, duty cycle is given, switching frequency is given, so DTS will give the on time. So we are getting 20 milliseconds. Similarly, off time, when transistor is turned off, so and diode is conducting, so in that case the delta TS value we can calculate, that is 23.17 milliseconds. Now when both transistor and diodes are turned off, that time we can calculate by using 1 minus D minus delta times TS. So that time we are getting 6.83 milliseconds. So here you can see that we are having 6.83 milliseconds when both the switches are turned off. Here when transistor is turned off and diode is conducting, that time we are getting 23.17 milliseconds. On time when the transistor is turned on and diode is turned off, that time we are getting 20 milliseconds. Okay. Now in the last part we have to calculate the duty ratio D. If the duty ratio D is 0.2, it is given. Now we have to evaluate the minimum inductance of L to maintain continuous mode operation while all other parameters remain the same. So duty cycle is 0.2. If we are not changing L value, then the converter will definitely work in discontinuous conduction mode. Okay, because whenever D is less than 0.6, it will be in discontinuous conduction mode. So if we somehow increase the L value, we can still achieve the continuous conduction mode. Okay, so that minimum inductance value we have to calculate in this part. So you can see that K is given by 2L upon RTS. If it become equal to 1 minus D, so we will get the boundary condition. If inductance we have to select more than that L minimum value, then the conduction will be in continuous conduction mode. Okay, so L minimum we can substitute here. So we can find 1 minus D RTS upon 2. D is given 0.2 and all other parameters are given in the problem. Substitute those values. Now L minimum value we are getting 4 millihenry. Okay. Similarly, for boost converter and buck boost converter, if the problem is given in discontinuous conduction mode, you can calculate the different parameters.